The 20th century is when truck came to the great American scene and changed everything forever. Hugely powerful, many vehicles were also very advanced in terms of their overall build, emerging as the auto industry's most significant force. While some rose to celebrity status and attained recognition, others were obscure and don't stand in the history books as anything memorable. We have compiled a list of the trucks realized before the 1980s. The machines not only paved the way for modern trucks, but are historical memorabilia depicting American creativity and perseverance. So, hop on and let's go back in time. Number 1. The Ford F-250 Highboy 1967 to 1977, a legend that towers above the rest. The Ford F-250 Highboy is possibly the epitome of ruggedness in terms of its looks and stance. This truck was built to endure extreme conditions and still get the job done efficiently. If you bought this truck from the manufacturer, it would come with the ability to directly package in 35-inch tires without having to modify the truck's suspension, which in turn would allow this truck to become trail-ready. When compared to other trucks, Ford's GM, Dodge, and Jeep were able to stand out with the Highboy and created a reputation. This robust truck's height could be attributed to its divorce transfer case and leaf spring suspension. However, this became obsolete after 1977 when Ford would once again redesign the F-250 with a new frame and drivetrain, substantially reducing its height. After this incident, Ford would refer to the tall versions of the truck as Highboys, and the newer models would go on to be called Lowboys. Similar to the Lowboys, many Highboys utilized the Ford 360 V8 engines with the C6 automatic transmission and NP 435 4-speed granny low gear. Together as a unit, they would allow the truck to perform various course-oriented tasks efficiently and reliably. One of the favorite collector trucks today is the Ford F-250 Highboy due to its reasonable pricing. Almost all models created recently have a cool factor, durability, and a high stance, which attracts Ford fans significantly. The utility exaggeration of this truck has always been unprecedented, and it not only rates high today, but even decades ago. Number 2. Willys CJ-2A 1945 to 1949, the Jeep that brought the battlefield to the farm. The Willys CJ-2A was the first Jeep that had publicly been produced and used for civilian purposes, because prior emphasis was only placed on the rugged nature of the vehicle and its practicality, which has also been retained by the CJ-2A. The vehicle was in production from the years 1945 through to 1949, and because of its ability to switch from one task to another with ease, it was rightfully dubbed America's workhorse. The versatility this vehicle displayed made it a great vehicle for farming, trekking, and other strenuous activities, allowing it to permeate both rural and industrial spaces seamlessly. The CJ-2A was equipped with a 4-cylinder Go Devil engine, which was able to output 60 horsepower alongside 105 pound-feet of torque, sufficient for widespread use like towing plows. One notable thing was that this Jeep, compared to other models, had natively equipped features such as a fully functional tailgate, side-mounted spare tires, and even larger headlamps. There was also the addition of a hydraulic lift, which further amplified its utility alongside enhancing its use for agricultural workers. The CJ-2A also had additional equipment onto its model, which included agriculture tools and even snowplows, which it was compatible with due to the novel power takeoff (PTO) it had integrated. The CJ-2A itself remarkably produced a competent compact design, which alongside the 4-wheel drive and lightweight body made it suitable for various activities where hauling hay and assisting during outdoor activities. Now the CJ-2A is praised as the car that transformed the Jeep into a versatile car for civilians. For their brief history, beautiful shape and simplicity, restored models remain on top of the list. Number 3. NAPCO Chevy and GMC trucks, 1942 to 1959, the original 4x4 pioneers. We used to see Dodge's 4-wheel drive vehicles back in the 1940s. Hence, I can understand why GMC as well as Chevy didn't produce any 4-wheel vehicles of their own. Luckily for them, NAPCO came into the scene and introduced the legendary Power Pack 4-wheel drive conversion kit, which could convert a pure Chevy, Ford, or GMC truck into an off-roading beast. Using their Tacoma trucks, they single-handedly changed the market. Even farmers who needed a rugged vehicle for their mundane tasks sought their vehicles due to their outclassed durability and practicality. Once 1957 rolled around, NAPCO PowerPack's conversion became highly competitive in the market, prompting both Chevy and GMC to install them into their assembly lines. It is speculated that right around the time when both these companies started producing their very own four-wheel drive systems, NAPCO over the years slowly started to lose relevance in the market, as mentioned in the essay. However, it is proven that NAPCO greatly boosted the market for off-roading vehicles, causing the said companies to expand greatly. Nowadays, NAPCO trucks have become rare collectibles that people want because of their significance and the engineering talent that went into them. There is even evidence in contemporary times of such popularity. A 1959 Chevy 3100 with power pack fitted at the factory changed hands at a Barrett-Jackson auction for $72,600. Today, but even decades ago. Number 4. Dodge Power Wagon 1946 to 1968. America's first civilian 4x4. The Power Wagon was America's first mass-produced four-wheel drive pickup, and it was manufactured from 1946 all the way to 1968. As such, it could be considered a pioneer of sorts in the world of trucks. Due to its robust construction and practical design, the Power Wagon was favored amongst farmers, contractors, and anyone else seeking reliable machinery. In contrast to its rather intimidating name, the Power Wagon's engine was fairly modest. It was powered by a 230 cubic inch inline six-cylinder engine, which generated 94 horsepower. Power Wagon introduced an even larger engine in the form of a 251 cubic inch engine. However, what the side-by-side needed to get the job done was accomplished using transmission and ultra-low axle gearing. Additionally, the tires were massive, and each axle had more than 10 inches of ground clearance. Its beds could easily transport 3,000 pounds of goods, which made them unstoppable across rough terrains. The Power Wagon needed little to no advertisement for its auxiliary boom power, since it had the capability to work efficiently and for long times. These trucks are still serviceable to this day, and their reputation has only grown over the years, showing how reliable they are for heavy-duty work. There are now modern companies, such as Legacy Power Wagon, that can restore these trucks to how they were with the option of incorporating modern V8 or diesel engines in them. Dodge Power Wagon is pure Americana in the form of a truck, timeless design integrated with unequivocal performance. Number 5. Toyota 4Runner 1984 to 1985. The rugged off-road pioneer. The Toyota 4Runner model that was first revealed in 1984 is now considered to be one of the most prominent off-road vehicles in history. The first versions of the model were fabricated from the well-known Toyota 4WC pickup trucks, which allows us to understand why they were viewed as being one of the most accomplished, compact 4WD vehicles in the American market. The cars were known for their rugged bodies, which would last a long time, cementing their place as an automatic and durable off-road vehicle. The first-generation Toyota 4Runner had a simple yet efficient drivetrain, placing a solid axial with a leaf spring suspension at both ends. Considering how these cars were pioneered in the off-road realm, it gave the vehicle extraordinary ground clearance and durability, which assisted with getting through treacherous terrains. Toyota equipped the 4Runner with the popular 22RE, which was a four-cylinder engine specializing in off-roading due to its remarkable fuel injection technology and durability. The early 4Runners were quite different in comparison to today's modern SUVs. Instead of being a fully formed vehicle, these vehicles came with removable fiberglass tops, making them seem more like a pickup truck than an SUV. This unique designing style aided in providing practicality to a number of consumers. While indeed fourth-generation Toyota 4Runners have transformed quite a lot from their 1984 to 1985 models, in which they used to pack advanced technology as well as a spacious luxury cabin, the aesthetic and interior of these fourth-generation Toyota 4Runners are not something to take lightly either. These models are said uniquely indestructible and are a top pick for vehicle collectors and off-road enthusiasts for their simplicity and features, optimally providing durability. Before we move on to the next one in the list, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you're enjoying this content so far, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks to all of you who do. Number 6. Jeep FC150 1957 to 1965. The forward control game changer. The Jeep FC150 was put to production between 1957 and 1965, and it is a far cry from the conventional pickup trucks of its time. FC stands for forward control, and this means the cab was positioned over the engine and front axle, allowing for a space-efficient truck that packs a punch. The FC150 is rugged, courtesy of being based on the Willys CJ5 chassis, making it a perfect workhorse for construction sites, farms, and even tight trails. The size of the FC150 says small, but the horsepower is heavy thanks to the 1.34 cubic inches Hurricane 4-cylinder engine. It had enough power to handle heavy work, ease carrying capacity. The 3-gear speed manual gearbox in Jeep all-wheel drive enhanced more of its capability. The way the Jeep's center of gravity was designed, with a very short wheelbase and radiator over the engine, meant that it was able to much more of a small turning radius than most vehicles of the same decade. The flat nose, along with the compact dimensions combined, gave it an aesthetic that can only be described as quirky for its time, along with its multi-purpose utility that made it appealing to farming bodies, governmental agencies, and even certain utility companies. It is more or less true that a modified FC150 Jeep has found its way into the prestigious automotive markets due to its eccentric shape, ability to carry on rugged terrain, and the place it occupied in Jeep's history. Number 7. International CXT 2004 to 2008, the heavyweight truck market's champion. We have already mentioned categories of trucks in the Sprinter in heavy-duty editions. The International CXT belongs in the same category as existing models. A truck that is well outside the norm as it requires a paradigm shift when it comes to defining pickups. It was introduced in 2004, and it was called the Commercial Extreme Truck CXT. The XT was a bold attempt by International to penetrate the retail market, looking to end the oligopolistic leadership competition over who comes out as the biggest in the market. To say that the CXT was built on a medium-duty commercial four-wheel drive, mild steel chassis weighing around 14,500 pounds is cliché at best. The CXT was given a Ford Super Duty pickup bed at the back and transformed into an extravagant 9-foot-tall truck, somewhat like a real-life Tonka toy. But this was not just for effect. It was all about engineering and practicality. The CXT was designed to be capable of lifting approximately 12,000 pounds of weight, which means it was able to sufficiently lift its own weight along with some extra mo. Resigned to being impractical for many, International CXT heavy-duty truck instantly captured the imagination of enthusiasts. With the rugged and huge design, it provided unparalleled performance on the road. Fast forward today, and the International CXT remains to be an archetype for heavy-duty trucks. The level of power and size it provided set a new standard on the global market. Number 8. Mercedes-Benz Unimog 1947 to 2014, the ultimate all-terrain workhorse. The Mercedes-Benz Unimog is a legend in the world of off-road and utility vehicles. Built from 1947 to 2014, and short for Universal Motor Jarrett, the unmatched versatility along with durability made it a popular choice for the military, farmers, adventure seekers, and many others that needed an all-terrain vehicle. The Unimog is distinguished by its high wheelbase, courtesy of its portal axles, which enabled the axles and drivetrain to be positioned above the wheel's hubs. Because of this, the vehicle was able to perform exceptionally well off the road, enabling it to operate unfazed in deep water and other difficulties. Diesel served as an excellent fuel for plows, agricultural tools, and other devices, rendering it one of the most diverse vehicles ever made. Additionally, the Unimog was equipped with a highly flexible chassis, which enabled the vehicle's wheels to touch the ground even on the roughest surfaces. It was equipped with lock differentials and a 4-range transmission, so it was prepared for just about anything. The Unimog is rugged, but advanced technology was gradually added to it throughout the course of its nearly 70-year manufacturing time to transform it into a more advanced model. There is no doubt that the Mercedes-Benz Unimog is the best off-road vehicle since it can be used to mow lawns, drive through mountains, and cross deserts. Collectors value both the new models and restored ones, especially the adventurers. Number 9. Mack Brothers Truck 1900 to 1922. The Fathers of Hauliers. In 1900, Mack Brothers Truck Company kick-started their business in the heavy-duty vehicles sphere. For their innovation in building durable trucks, the Mack brothers were able to create a legacy which was built upon tough and reliable vehicles, and such legacy still exists till today. Bus manufacturing was the first business the Mack brothers started their venture with. Soon after, the demand for durable vehicles increased, and they immediately turned their focus on trucks. By 1905, they launched Mack AB, one of the first of their heavy-duty trucks that was targeted at industries such as construction and logging. Due to its strong engineering and advancements in drivetrain technology Mack trucks had, the trucks were able to tow heavier items with less difficulty. The Mack trucks were so tough that British soldiers in World War I began calling the trucks bulldogs, which later became the company's mascot. The Mack brothers made themselves a fixture in the trucking world by the early 1920s. Thanks to the emphasis they placed on an early Mack truck's innovation and quality maintenance, the Mack trucks would go on to trend as a reliable heavy-duty. The Mack brothers constructed a philosophy that forged a legacy that established roots in the trucking empires. And today, Mack trucks are considered a true testament of American engineering, while vintage Mack models are adored for their rustic construction. Number 10. Peterbilt 281 1954 to 1976, the highway hauler. The Peterbilt 281 manufactured between 1954 and 1976. 1976 is one of the most famous American trucks ever made. Having a long nose, this truck was specifically designed for long-distance trucking and found love in both drivers and fleet owners. The truck has a heavy-duty aluminum cab and hood which greatly boost its fuel efficiency and allow for a bigger payload than some steel body manufactured trucks. Coupled with consistently reliable engines, Cummins or Detroit diesel were moved on to the larger motive side, which helped the vehicle carry weight over a long distance. Rugged trucking along busy highways is tough, but the truck's slim frame and durable drivetrains ensured the vehicle could withstand every mental and physical challenge. The unique design of the Peterbilt 281 assured it that it would go down as a reliable workhorse of its timings. The truck was featured in the 1971 Steven Spielberg thriller Duel, and its frightening look and roar have turned it into a cultural phenomenon. Nowadays, the Peterbilt 281 is regarded as the face of the American trucking industry in the 20th century. Restored versions of the model are attractive to collectors and associated lovers because of its history and design. It has achieved true legend status among fans of the open road. Back in the day, American trucks from the early 1900s left a lasting mark on the automotive world, showcasing ingenuity, rugged craftsmanship, and the pioneering spirit of a growing nation. These trucks were the backbone of progress, paving the way for modern-day vehicles with their groundbreaking designs and functionality. Their legacy lives on as symbols of resilience and innovation. If you enjoyed this dive into automotive history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.